If all Muslims, calm down. If there is any sensible Muslim, who is sensible ones would listen to the statement first and respond. The ones who don't even listen to the statement first, by definition, are not sensible. If there is any sensible Muslim, I am willing to have a conversation with you. But for a conversation to happen, the sensible Muslim must know that there is such a thing called personal space. So I would ask the sensible Muslim to ask all Muslims to give me my personal space and stay away. It's a simple request. As the mafia ummah that you are, if you can make sense, I understand that you are part of a mafia gang. Instead of demonstrating that you are part of a mafia gang, if you want to prove your salt, don't touch me. It's not a question, it's a statement. Don't touch me. To you, stay away is my only statement. Stay away is the first point. To all Muslims, stay away first. Give me my personal space is the first point. All the rest of the Muslims, if you respect this gentleman as your representative of your confused mafia gang ummah, then the rest of the people, if I could request you to step back, move away. Step back. The rest, if you step back and move away. Sorry.
I'm just trying to understand the question you said.
Yeah, sure. But if you give me some space, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everyone, thank you very much. Thank you. So,
What is the question?
all right. We were in the middle of a conversation. About whether the Quran is preserved or not. This gentleman came in between, and Abdullah now wants to know what the question is, so I can explain the question. But for that, all Muslims should pay attention right now. I'll explain. I am a Christian. There are many Muslims here. And of course,
No Christian here.
Brother, engage, please. Engage. Let the audience speak. Engage.
No Christian here.
sure. Between Christianity, which I follow, my precious Lord Jesus, and Islam that you follow, clearly there are irreconcilable differences. There are moral problems in Islam and all sorts of other things.
Should we time it?
If you listen first,
Okay, time it.
if you talk in between, I have already evidence to think that you don't have the capacity to think.
I'm going to
So,
decapitate you. Let's go.
which is what jihadis do. I completely understand.
Can't be preaching.
When a jihadi says that he is going to decapitate me, and of course, I need to be a little bit concerned. And so now all of you should know why your jihadi friend did mention. So clearly, too much of masjid conversation is overflowing to speaker's corner. Your masjid conversation of decapitation, terrorism, and so on. Thank you. Yeah, nothing about. Thank you. Now, all right. The topic of discussion, why is the mafia gang moved in, was a simple one, which is to justify the impossible Islam. What Islam does is to claim that the Quran is perfectly preserved, but the Bible is corrupt. This is the claim that Islam advances. And I am trying to have a sensible discussion on this topic. Is it true? Is it true?
Brother, finish. Forget the audience.
Ask your Ummah to stay quiet.
I don't control them.
If you don't control, I am going to move away because I have no trust in your serious troublemaking Ummah.
Brother, we don't control the people. He's not going anywhere.
My channel for all audiences, my channel is called Operation Stephen. You can watch videos after videos in Operation Stephen, and you can stay quiet. You can see that the Muslim Ummah are seriously troublemaking at Speaker's corner, and therefore, I am deeply.
Give your argument.
And therefore,
Give your argument.
and therefore,
Give your
I am. And therefore, I am.
argument. Give your argument. Yalla, let's go.
Therefore, I am deeply wary.
Let's go. Why is the Quran not preserved? Or why is the Bible preserved? So we can engage. Let's go.
All right. So, all Muslims, if I could request you to please give me space and move. I don't want any trouble to be from behind me. If all Muslims can please step away, respecting. Okay, maybe you can stand there. Maybe you could come here. All Ummah members, please come. Please come here. All Ummah members, especially the ones who have made trouble earlier in the day, please stay away. Please. You can come here. You can come here. You can come here. Thank you. All Ummah members, if you can please step away from my back because I am deeply wary. I am deeply wary. Thank you very much. Deeply wary of troublemakers who stand. All right.
All right. He's going to give an argument, guys. He's going to give an argument against preservation. Let's hear it. Give your argument, brother.
So, in relation, the question is simple. Is the Quran preserved or not? If you want a timed conversation, we can do timed. If you don't want a timed, if you want a naturally flowing conversation, we can do that also. But the topic,
Time. 2 minutes each.
but the topic is simple.
Quran and Bible.
The topic is simple. You see, he is already confused. The topic is in Quran and the Bible as if that is even a complete statement. The statement, the challenge is simple. Is the Quran preserved or corrupt? Is the question. Are you happy with the topic?
Very happy. Engage. Give the argument.
Is the Quran preserved or corrupt? If you want a timed conversation,
2 minutes each.
please can you hold
the
the time? Because we need to be able to see. No, I'm fine.
2 minutes each, yeah?
It's hard to turn around. I need to be. It's hard to turn around. Someone from the. Can you hold a? Are you able to show time? Please. Can if you?
Can we have a moderator? Do we need a moderator? Can we? Sir, would you like to moderate?
I'm going to do the time.
Yes.
There you go.
Moderation.
There you go.
This time and moderate.
He's doing 2 minutes. Okay?
3 minutes. Yeah.
You want 3 minutes each?
3 minutes. What did you say? 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes each. All right.
That's fine. I want to hear argument about speech. Show me the word
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Start. 3 minutes each. All right. The topic is simple. Is the Quran preserved or not? Now, anyone sensible would understand. For someone to know if a book is preserved, you need to be able to look at passages and be able to comprehend passages. You need to be able to, first of all, find out what the contents of the book are. My challenge to all my Muslim friends are that based on manuscriptal evidence, no one can have any confidence about the Quran as to even what originally constituted the Quran. Was the original Quran of 114 surahs or not? The overwhelming evidence that we have today.
We started. Nice try, moderator. Moderator, you've been talking for 15 minutes. Can you have a start?
No.
15 minutes you've been talking, and we haven't started this clock yet. You've been preaching.
No, he is showing the time. He is showing the time.
Time is paused.
He is showing the time.
I thought, brother, here was showing.
2 minutes and 9. I'll pause it. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
Yeah. So,
Continue. That's it. Done.
the Muslim gentleman here has to provide evidence, first of all, evidence to show that evidence leads to the conclusion that the Quran has 100, originally had 114 surahs. I can show contrary evidence. The contrary evidence is from an Islamic source, from Maser and Hashem, their website. You can see this graph in their website. You have to go a long way through the manuscript before you can come to any 114 chapter surah, Quran. Please look at this. Long time. Most of the early manuscripts don't have 114 chapters. There is no shred of evidence to suggest that the early Quran has 114 chapters. But the problem isn't just that. The problem is more than that. For instance, the earliest dated manuscript of the Quran is what is called the Birmingham manuscript. But unfortunately for the Muslims, the Birmingham manuscript is dated prior to the time of when Muhammad is supposed to have started his ministry. In other words, the earliest of the Quranic manuscripts clearly is demonstrably based on science, not from Muhammad. Who knows who wrote the Quran? How many surahs were there in the Quran? And there are also contents in the Quran which no one can demonstrate through evidence that they correspond to Muhammad. I can give sample passages later. The point is, the Quran is utterly lost, corrupt.
Time, brother.
He's over time. You're way over your time.
I'm not going to respond, and please don't interrupt. Here we go. So Arul made a lot of claims. I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to show you how utterly nonsensical each of his claims are. And I need everyone to pay attention. His initial claim was that because the Birmingham manuscript dates before Muhammad's ministry, that therefore is going to be a theological implication that's going to undermine Islam. What if you knew, Arul, is that when it comes to dating manuscripts, there's many ways of doing it. One of the ways of doing it is through carbon dating. Now, one fault of carbon dating, which is why you shouldn't date only the carbon dating, is because it gives you a range. Carbon dating uses material, looks at the material, looks at the carbon half-life of that material, and determines the dating when that manuscript goes back to. Now, what Arul doesn't know is that a range does not negate its actual dating. What it simply means is that it could be arranged prior to Muhammad or after Muhammad. Why? Because carbon dating is faulty in its dating and is not as accurate. That's why we corroborated with other ways of dating, such as the text and the writing of the style. Now, his second argument was regarding manuscripts. We can't corroborate manuscripts of the first century of 114 surahs. Too bad, we can. Here we go. I'm going to read out a list of manuscripts, either complete or incomplete, that corroborate the Quran that we have today with scholarship upon request. I got you. I got everything you need. Here we go. The Arabi 328A, first century, 45% complete. The BL 2165, first century, 57% complete. What do we have? Sarai Medina, first century manuscript, 100% complete. Minga palimpsest, first century, 30 folios. I have more than 30 independent manuscripts that attest to 114 surahs. And upon request, I have more than 20 secular historians that attest to the Quran being preserved upon request. I've got a minute left, so I will name a few. Here we go. Let's name a few historians that attest to this. Here we go. Let's give some. We have Alan George. We have Dam. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Here we go. Let me try and get as many as possible. There we go. We have John Arthur Jeffrey. We have Eli Crone. We have Daniel Burka. and I could keep going and going to show secular historians that attest to Quranic preservation in conjunction with manuscripts. Respond to the evidence. Respond to the evidence that I gave of full Quranic manuscripts, 1st century, in conjunction with the earliest.
Can we have time?
Historians.
Can we have time? 3 minutes? No, please. Let's have someone who can show. Sorry, one. Okay, but maybe start again.
There you go.
Now,
Excuse me, you can see that nobody interrupted you. Can you tell them not to interrupt?
This is because corner, bro. Nobody's in your
I don't control them.
This is a crowd. This is speaker's corner. You don't have that authority. You don't have that authority.
so now we saw a demonstration as to how Muslims come to conclusion. They are hearing some words for the first time in their lives and they are shouting out takbir. And that is how scholarship of Islam happens. Have no clue whatsoever. If you carefully paid attention to what he said, first, what did he say about Birmingham manuscript? He agreed that the carbon dating in terms of range would allow the manuscript to even be dated prior to Muhammad. He agreed. What he did not talk about is not just the range, my dear friends. Carbon dating would also give you a mean period, mean year. And the mean year for the manuscript is prior to when Muhammad is supposed to have started his preaching, which is in 610 AD. So in other words, Birmingham manuscript, if you go by science, not your Allah Akbar, takbir and so on, but if you go by science, which he hates, you will have to agree, comes from whoever else, but not Muhammad. God knows where Birmingham manuscript comes from. Now let's talk about the other manuscript. The gentleman here very eloquently agreed on camera. What did he say? He named a few manuscripts and he agreed 40%, 30%, 50%. You have a huge problem, my dear friends. The complete list is here from your Maser Dawa Wise Islamic channel. The complete list. Go through the early many manuscripts, my dear friends. There is nothing which is complete. Add to that Birmingham manuscript, God knows where it comes from. So the point is, God knows what was read in the 1st century of Islam as the Quran. Maybe what he is calling as the 40% is all that they read as the entire Quran, maybe. You know what I mean? No one has a clue. So far, he hasn't given a shred of an evidence as to why 114 chapters are supposed to be in the Quran. Manuscripts go against. What is the evidence that he has given to substantiate that? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Instead, what he quoted are people such as Patricia Crone, Arthur Jeffrey. I don't know if he has ever read their material. If you have ever read Arthur Jeffrey's material, my dear friend, you would not even stand here and mention his name. He is a Christian gentleman who has written some serious information against the Quran. There is a book that he wrote, roughly, I can't remember the exact name, but something like the variations of the Quran, all sorts of variations. And he has produced a master material of all information that he has gathered from historical sources. To an extent, no one would today have a clue as to what should be in the Quran. Now, I made another point. So, in other words, so far, zilch evidence. Zero.
Here we go. You guys can clearly see the difference when it comes to dialectics and it comes to presenting evidence using a historical critical method. He raised very poor objections that I'm quickly going to refute before I pose the line of
He'll
questions.
start sometime soon.
Wait, before I can pose the line of questions, which you will see he's not going to answer. Because the only way to catch these guys out is to give them direct questions. They don't answer them, then it's a concession. Here we go. He said that because the evidence that I presented of multiple manuscripts contains that they don't include the entirety of the Quran, that this is going to be an issue. Nope. What this means is that using the historical critical method, if we have corroborating evidence, although individually they're not complete, it still corroborates the entire Quran that we have from the 1st century. And if you didn't know it, you didn't say this, but I quoted you a manuscript, a codex that has 100% of the Quran from the 1st century.
Which one was that?
Let me give it to you. Here we go.
Don't go close. You are going close, you see.
The name of this manuscript is, here we go, Sarai manuscript Sarai Medina 1A is dated the 1st century Hijrah and is 100% of the Quran.
100% complete.
Sarai Medina 1st century 100% complete. Now, the question to him is very simple. Do we have a 1st century manuscript that has 100% of the Quran according to his evidence? Yes or no? That's the first question. Second question is, do we have corroborating evidence from other manuscripts that corroborate 100% of the Quran from the 1st century? That's the second question. I expect to answer every single one of those questions. Now, the third question is, when it comes to secular historians, when it comes to seculars, do they attest to Quranic preservation, yes or no? And I'm going to give him a list. I'm going to ask him to concede. Here we go. Let's work backwards. We have Angelica Nerworth. We have Van Houten. We have, who do we have? Let's keep going. Hytham Sidki. We have Foster Abinot. We have Rom Landu. All they say that, and all of them are Orientalists that say that the Quran is preserved. The question is very simple. Do we have plethora of non-Muslim scholars that attest to Quranic preservation, yes or no? You said we got an answer. He says that the Quran is not preserved. Bring your evidence. You can't bring it because I have been saying the opposite. Now, these are the three questions that I want to answer. If he doesn't answer all three questions, it's a concession. It's very simple. Do we have 1st century manuscript that corroborates 100% of the Quran?
What's the time?
Still going, brother. 20 seconds left. Second question. Do we have a plethora of manuscripts that together corroborate the Quran that we have today under the HCM? Yes or no? Third question, do we have plethora of non-Muslim Orientalists that corroborate and say that the Quran is preserved according to the evidence? Yes or no? Failure to answer these questions is a concession by default. Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead, sorry. I'll do it then.
I haven't got a clue if he has understood the question or the challenge or not. The debate topic is the Quran preserved? This is from Islamic Awareness. Everyone please take a look. All Islamic Mafia gang members, please take a look. This is from Islamic Awareness website. I am showing him resources. He's not showing. He's hiding away. I haven't got a clue as to what resources he is talking about. Dawa Wise Channels, IslamicAwareness.com, IslamicAwareness.org/Quran/text/MSS. You get information, a bar chart /Hijazi, a bar chart. And in this list around 30 to 40 manuscripts. You put all of them together, you still don't have 100% Quran. You still don't have. To get your first complete Quran, what you call complete Quran, or I would call the later mythical Quran, you have to wait centuries, my dear friends. Especially when Islam were the winners in Hijazi. They had every reason to preserve every single manuscript completely. Yet in Hijazi, where they could have preserved every manuscript, what is the state of the manuscripts of the Quran? You go through tens and tens and tens and centuries, tens of manuscripts, and even if you add all contents together, you do not get a clue whether the Quran is supposed to be 114 chapters or not. For all that we know, maybe the first Quran was only the Birmingham manuscript. Who knows? Maybe the second Quran was, please listen, don't disturb. Maybe the second Quran was only the 30% or 40% complete Quran. Maybe that is what they thought was complete Quran. Who knows? If all the manuscripts from Muslim heartland, when they were ruling the Muslim heartland, is only 30%, 40%, 20%, and some of them date from before the time of Muhammad, you have to ask some serious questions. Why is this important? I've shown you manuscripts, by the way. If you want to, I don't know what you showed, you kept that as a secret. Maybe that's Mafia gang secret. But look at this, IslamicAwareness.org. Can you see this? This is from your Mafia gang, Maser. This is from your Maser, my dear friend. Look at the bar graph. If you don't hate information, love information. Look at that. Look at that. If you please take a proper look, and for your imaginary 100%, I don't know where you got, but the point is this is what we have. Now, who are people who reject the preservation of the Quran? Oh, all sorts of people, my dear friends. There is scholarship today which undermines the very origin account of Islam. God knows who wrote the Quran. One of the stalwarts, leading stalwarts, by the way, to you, Desroches, Francois Desroches, who holds one of the early significant manuscript, who sits in France, believes that the Quran was written much later than Muhammad.
There we go. So guys, let me put my time real quick. Did he answer any of the questions that I asked him? No. Did he address at least a single question? No. He didn't.
Yes, it did.
Let's remind everyone, let's refresh everyone's memory. The first question was, do we have first century complete codex of the Quran? He didn't answer it, and I showed him the evidence. Second question,
What?
do
You
we have...
didn't show me anything.
Please, brother, please.
But you didn't show me anything. You can't say I showed you something.
Second question, do we have corroborating codices and folios that attest to 100% of the Quran in the first century? He didn't answer the question, and of course we do. Third question, do we have a plethora of secular historians, Orientalists, that attest to Quranic preservation? He didn't answer the question. Now, clearly, I made it clear, if he doesn't answer this concession, these guys don't know how to debate. So to make it very clear, I'm going to give him one reference, this one. Here we go. Rom Landu says, Professor of Islamic Studies at the University of the Pacific, said that it has become the task of Muhammad's secretary, Zayd bin Thabit, to bring these sayings together in textual form. Abu Bakr had directed this work, and later, after a revision at the command of Uthman, the Quran took its standard and final form that has come down to us unchanged. The Quran, according to the secularists, has come down to us unchanged. The question to you is very simple. Do you reject this secular historian, and do you say that he's wrong, yes or no? And in conjunction with answering all the previous questions that I asked you, because right now you're wasting my time, you're wasting everyone's time, because we want to know, why do we have plethora of codices that corroborate the Quran behind 100%? Because as you know, when it comes to historical...
What's the time?
There's still time left, brother. When it comes to corroborating reports, we don't look at one codex and assume that the codex itself is what will represent the Quran. When it comes to historical critical method, you look at the available reports and you look at the ICMA, the Islamic method analysis, and you date back how far that text goes, either through carbon dating, either through looking at the way that the text looks. Based on the text, you can date it as a specific time period. So the question to you is very simple. Do we have, according to the evidence that I showed you, a plethora of first century codices that attest to 100% of the Quran, yes or no, otherwise you reject evidence? And according to that scholar, do you accept or reject Rom Landu, who said that the Quran has come down to us unchanged? Yes or no? Failure to answer any of these questions is a concession by default. Answer. I use my time. I didn't even need the rest of my time. Let's see if he's going to waste my time.
No, one second. I'm here. My dear friend, excuse me. Excuse me. Is something wrong with you? Something wrong with you? I said before. Excuse me. Are you hearing? Does he know? Okay. Keep moving. Please keep moving. So, I'm not debating anymore. You can move. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sure. This clearly is some. This clearly is some TikTok. Would you like to start again? But before you start, wait. Before you, wait.
Talk to us. Yes, you ran away.
But before you start, okay, please listen. I am here. Before you start, before you start, before you start, before you start,
Answer the question.
before you start,
Answer the question.
before you start,
Answer the question.
before you start, before you
Tell him to answer the question.
would you like to have a sensible debate or not? Oh, there we go. It's just a clown show. It's just a clown show.
You are going close.
Look at the clown show. Look, I'm not interested. If you want to have a sensible debate, if you would like to have a clearly a TikTok fellow who doesn't know what it means to give information. Would you like to have a debate?
Answer the question.
If you'd like to have a debate, firstly,
Chicken.
my dear friends, here, no, I'm done. Please, you can keep moving. Thank you. Thanks.
Do you want to debate?
If you want to debate, listen. Now he is a selective cognitive disorder here. Yeah? It turns.
You predicted yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No, I don't want to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please keep moving. So here is the problem. The fellow is clearly a TikTok fellow who does not know what it means to show evidence. He reads from some random source which he doesn't even give me, and he thinks he is debating. My dear friends, my dear friend, if you want to debate and if you want to show evidence, show it. If you are saying, I have shown evidence, show it. You neither presented the evidence prior to the debate, nor showed the evidence, took time to show the evidence to me in the middle of the debate. You did nothing. All that you did is clearly your TikTok material. In a ba, and then move away. Unfortunately for you, we come from Speaker's Corner. This is Speaker's Corner. Here we don't do takbeers. Here we rather exchange information. I cared to read out the source material from which I've gathered the information. IslamicAwareness.org, Quran/text/MSS/Hijazi, where Maser and Hashem, shameful as they are, confirm that none of the early Qurans are complete. To contradict my claim, what evidence did the gentleman provide? God knows what he did, because he did not give me the detailed reference there.